So now we come to the actual middlewares. So first of all, I need to install all of them, and then we're gonna go by one by one, and then I'm gonna explain everything for you. So I'm gonna open a new tab and let me start installing everything that we will need. So I'm just gonna go yarn add, and we're gonna start by Morgan, and then helmet, and then also we're gonna have express, and then Mongo sanitize. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain every single one of them. And then also I'm gonna have cookie parser, and then also I'm gonna have compression, and then also express file upload, and then also I'm gonna have cores. I hope I didn't make any typos and stuff. So let me click enter and let me see. And if we forgot something, we're going to install it. So now let me go back to my code. So in the index we had this .env config right here, but this is like more in the Express app. So I'm just gonna go and take it back to the app right here, so we can have it here. And then I'm just gonna get the import also and add it under here. Let me add space and save, and let me save also right here. Let me go back. Everything is solved and there is no problems with our code. So now I'm gonna go back to my Express app and let's start adding all the necessary middlewares. So the first one is gonna be, let me go back, you could say add in Morgan middleware as an HTTP request logger middleware for Node.js. So for example, you're doing a request to a certain route. It's gonna, Morgan help you show that in the console. And also it's gonna highlight the type of status you got. For example, if you had an error, it's gonna show you there like the type of status error, and I'm gonna explain now. So for example, let me just add this as, let's call this Morgan, and to add a middleware, you just simply go to your app and then use .use like this, and then simply you call the middleware. So let me import it first. So import Morgan from Morgan, and then simply I can just go right to use and then Morgan like this. And now if I went back to my console, you can see there is nothing here. But if I went back here to my postman and I click send a request to /test and as a post request, so I send, and you can say it's been sent, and I guess a 200 back response, which is everything is okay. If I went back to my console right here, you could say, okay, there is a request right here to post, and then it's /test, and this is, we shouldn't do it this way. Let me just add as a development tool, so it shows things in a better way. So let me do that again and send, and let me go back and see. You will see there is a post request to the route /test, and then it's got a response of 200, which is everything is okay, and also the timing it take, okay, which is 2.7 milliseconds. So it's a very interesting tool. And you could say, like, when you send a request to a certain route that doesn't exist, for example this one, it doesn't exist, I do send, I get 404, which is not found. So if I go back, you see right here pause to /test1, and it's 404, that it doesn't exist, and this is the time it took for the response. So Morgan is actually a very nice tool. But as I told you, this Morgan, we shouldn't have it in production, so it only should be in the development mode. So right here I'm going to do a test. So if process.env.node environment is different than production, that's the only time we're gonna show it. So right here, and here it's gonna be now working only in the development mode. And if you are on production, it's not gonna work, because we're not gonna have like a production or like an application deployed where could be million users using it, and every time we're gonna console log in the server. That's just like gonna really slow out the server for us, and it's not gonna work efficiently. Okay, that is Morgan for you. Let me go to the second one. So the second one is gonna be to add Helmet middleware. Helmet helps you secure your Express apps by setting various HTTP headers. So this is just simply for security reasons. We add this Helmet, which simply goes to your headers and add few that are right there, or like attributes with certain values, to make sure your requests are like actually more secure, which is a nice touch. It's not like the most amazing security tool. It's a little thing, but it's still like quite worth it. That's what would I say. So let's do this. So there is something that you could use another middleware, but just go right here and then simply dot, and then call that middleware that you have, for example Helmet, like that, and then we're gonna import it. We can't import it, but this is a way to use it. But I don't want to do it this way, because I want to actually go and explain every middleware and what it does. So first of all, let me import helmet. So import helmet from helmet like that, and then I'm gonna check this helmet, and this one is gonna be for helmet. Okay, this one was for functionality, it shows us something, it helps us, and this helmet is for security. So I'm just gonna go app.use and then helmet like that. Now let's go to the third part, which right here, it says add in express.json and URL encoded middleware to parse JSON requests from body and URL. So sometimes when you send in data, it sends it in the form of JSON in the body. So to make the server or the Express application able to take this data and parse it, you have to add a middleware. So in the previous, you could say Express versions, it was like something that is there. Okay, you could simply use Express, and it has like all of these middlewares, one of them to be able to parse the JSON from the body and the URL. Okay, and then they removed it. So when you wanted to do that, you had to add another package which is called the body parser. But then in the newest version, Express returned these two again included with the Express itself. So that is very important. So people might not know that and still use body parser. There is no need for that. It's now included in Express itself. Let me explain. For example, I'm going to send a request right here. Some people just go to the body, like we send in some informations in the body right here, and we send it in the form of JSON. Let me zoom out a little bit. So right here, you can define the type of data you want to send. For example, it's going to be a row, and then instead of text, I'm going to choose JSON, and you're going to send some data in the body in the form of JSON. For example, we send in the name as like my name. Okay, this is the data that we send in the body, which is something we can do. Let me explain it to you. So like for example, this one, I'm going to go to post and then this says, and I'm going to have this name. So I'm just going to return that value right here, and I want to see it. So I can go back to my code. So this index, where is the route that is in the app? So this is the route to post. There is something that you could actually do, which is response.send. What? I'm going to send the body itself. So request.body like this. And if I went back right here and I try to send, look what's going to happen. I get nothing. Even though I wanted to send the data I sent in the body, I can't, because we didn't have any middleware to parse this JSON data. And that's the reason I get a good response, I get 200, but I get no data. So how to fix this problem is to actually go back right here. And let me go, like, let's say parse, let me do it this way, parse JSON body request body. Let's say JSON request body. Okay, and then what we have to do is we're going to go app and then use, and we're going to use Express itself, and then we're going to go to the JSON like this function to actually be able to to be able to parse the data from the body. And we're going to do the same. We're going to copy this under, and this one is going to be request URL. And then simply, instead of having JSON right here, we're going to use the URL encoded. So URL and then encoded. I don't want to make any typos right here because it's easy. And then we're going to define the property extended, and then we're going to make it true like this. So URL encoded. I hope I didn't make any typos. If I made them, you can fix them. So now that we added those middlewares, if I go back right here and I try to send, look what's going to happen. So it seems there's a problem with the server. Let me go back. So JSON is not a function. And the reason we get that, sorry, because Express, we shouldn't run it as a function, just like that's object. This way, sorry, that was my bad. So now everything is working on the server. If I went back and I send again, you will see that I get the body data that I sent. So that was beautiful, and we explained that beautifully. So let's continue to the next thing. So let's go to the next middleware, which is going to be Express Mongo Sanitize, which is a middleware that sanitizes user supply data to prevent MongoDB operator injection. Simply, when you do some queries to the database, as we're gonna use MongoDB, so some queries that's the ones with $sign or something, those can be used to actually do something from a user to manipulate a database somewhere, or like do some sort of injections. Like if you remember like SQL injections, you know that there is a way that just play with those parameters you can manipulate and do something malicious in that database. So XPS Mongo Sanitize help us do the same thing, but with MongoDB to add more security to it. It's very, very important to add as you're working with MongoDB. So I'm going to go right here, and then I'm going to go sanitize request data, and then we're going to go app.use, and let me actually import that first. So import, and then it's called Mongo Sanitize. So Mongo Sanitize from Express Mongo Sanitize. So we're gonna take that and actually use it to, more security for our database queries. That is the next thing. Let me continue. So now we're gonna add the cookie parser middleware to parse cookie header and populate those cookies with an object keyed by the cookie names. So this simply is going to help us to set cookies and in certain rows and then get them, which is going to be in the authentication. We have like some sort of like it's going to be the refresh token, for example, is going to be, stored somewhere using this cookie parser. And whenever we need it, we can use this cookie parser to get it back. So I got to go back to my app. A lot of middlewares, but they are very important and they're going to help us a lot. So I'm going to go to this one and I'm just going to go enable cookie parser. Okay, this is going to be a comment, and then let me go also right and import that. So import and then cookie parser from cookie parser. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to take that and then simply I'm just going to go right here app.use and then just like this. So now we added the cookie parser. Let me see what we have next. So after that, we have to add a compression middleware to compress response bodies for all requests that traverse through the middleware. So simply when you have, like, let's say some sort of response, like a body, like there's a lot of data in there. This helps compress it so it becomes, the size of it is less. And that makes the response faster because there is less, data size to handle. So the compression middleware is also something cool to have. So yeah, we're gonna add that also. So I'm just gonna go right here and then import compression from compression, and I'm gonna use that also. So right here, I'm just gonna go gzip compression or compression. Yeah, I need probably to stop using this, capital letters. Okay. Even though it's not bad, but it's just like weird. I don't want, but everyone has these preferences. It doesn't affect the code, so you can do whatever you want with this. So if you want to read more about this, like the middlewares that I have, you can just simply click on the links right here in the, I changed the name from task to lesson objectives, which is more understandable. And you can click on any one of them, read more about it, find, better options if you want to, that will help you. So it's a good thing, to read more about them. If you want to use them, you can, search for a few other middlewares that you can use. It's all about searching and figure out what people are doing so you can, get hold of that and use it and help you a lot with that. So I'm just going to go now to file upload. This is very simple. You can see right here. So adding XPS file upload middleware to make uploaded files accessible from request.file. So simply, this is very important. Like, let's say we are in this route, okay? I'm sending files. So if I want to access these files, I can just simply find them where? Just in the request and go .files. And directly I have those files. So this is like the idea of using this. It's very important so we can, handle our files. So I'm just going to go up.use, and then we're going to use the file upload. Okay, like that. Can I import that? I actually have to, import that manually, because you can import it from, so this is upload, let me name it this way, from, and then express. Sorry, what's going on? Okay, upload from express file upload. Okay, this is better. And then I'm going to go down right here and I'm going to use that. We're going to pass one setting right here because you also can use the temporary files. So I'm going to use temporary file and I'm going to make them true. Temporary file, simply when you upload a file, is going to create a folder right here with the name temp, which has that file there. So you can take hold of that file, do certain things on it, and then you can delete it after. This is the use of the use temporary files. I like it. So, and then after that, we're going to have to add CORS middleware So protect and restrict access to the server. So your server, like, you know, there is a website or front end that is going to be connected with. So you have to actually restrict who can actually connect to your, you know, server, because that's really the important part, is that you're not going to allow anyone to just come and, you know, connect to the server. It's only like the few front end or like some sort of services that needs to connect with it can connect with it. Other than that, you just don't allow it. So let me show you. So I'm just going to go import cores from cores, and then simply, I like always keep a space there. I'm just going to go right here, and this is for cores. I'm going to update use and then cores like this, and you can pass the settings. So for example, if you want to go, now we are in development, so it's not really necessary, but you can just go right here and do origin. It's very important to be you know, added so you can actually connect from the front end. But now if you want to decide like what front end can connect with it, you can define the origin by like HTTP and then localhost 3000. Okay, so this is the only link from the front end that connects the server. So you cannot send any other request without, you know, from somewhere else. Like for example, if it's localhost 4000, you're not going to be able to. So the only place you're allowed to is this localhost 3000. And you also can, you know, have multiple origins. You know, you can read more about them. As I told you, you can just go, you know, I've had a previous course which I explained cores like way in details. Like I went too far, I actually explained everything about it. But if you want to read more about them, you can click on the link and you will read about everything you want to know about cores. They're pretty cool. But as we are in development, let me just remove these settings here and keep it simple like that. So now we added the middlewares that we want to add. So if I went back right now, you can see this was the last one, which is adding code. So we've done that. We've done our objectives. Now we secured our application, make it more secure, faster, and we added few things that we need, like the cookies. This is something for functionality. You're gonna need the file upload, you know, the helmet, and all of the other cool stuff we added. So now there is the last thing. So we finished this video. Now I need to push to GitHub. So what I need to do is go back, open a tab. Let me clear the console right here. I can go. Some people commit from here, but let me just, you know, do it with code. So it is the same thing. So I'm just going to go back and do git add, and then all of this. So we already had, we don't need to git initialize again because we already done that. And then we're going to go git commit and then -m, and then we're going to name whatever we want to do. So we can do something for like setup. Sorry, I want to add something like setup cross-env. This is just a stupid naming. Add in, and then I can go add in middlewares, and then you can even like decide what middlewares you added. This is just a text for people to understand. We can say all of them. I don't know, it seems like too long, but I don't mind. So I'm just gonna add like exactly what I did, and then helmet. It seems like quite a lot. And then actually, let me not do that. Let me just leave it simple because that's just getting a lot. So setup cross-env, add in middlewares. That's what we actually done. I'm going to click enter, and now it's been added. So all you need to do now is just git push like this, and it's gonna get added right here. Okay, so now it's been uploaded, and if you go to GitHub now, you will find it. So let me do that for you so you can see that. So this is the updated source code. You can find this in your GitHub repository. As you can see, there's the updated file name, lessons objectives. So yeah, you can click on it to see the lessons objectives that we had. It is a good read, just to know like where you are. If you click in the two commits right here. So the first one was the setup express. The second one, which was setup cross-env and add in middleware. So if you click on it right now, you can actually see what changes we actually made. So the green one is the new change, something added. And the red one is the ones that we removed. For example, like in the package.json, we removed this nodemon, you know, in the start, and we changed it with node. We added the dev, and we added few dependencies. So, and I just want to explain this for you so you can understand, like, you know, how GitHub also works. For if you are a beginner, you would understand this. And this is beautiful. And this is the changes we made, and now it's been pushed to GitHub.